Jonathan, and thank you very much for stopping by and checking out this video. Today we're going to talk about using external digital effects within our digital audio workstation rather than using plugins or UAD or some other type of power plugins. We're going to use external rack effects, and the way that we're going to do that, as brought out in this video, is by using digital rack effects. So what does that mean? That means that we're going to go from our digital out of our digital audio interface to the digital in of our rack effect. So that means that if you're going to do things this way, you should go out and purchase either used or new a rack effect that has a digital input. All rack effects don't have digital inputs, but fortunately for me, most of the ones that I have digital inputs, and they make it a lot more better for my system because you don't get the latency with the digital input going from, let's say, SPDIF into the SPDIF of the rack effect. You're not going to get any latency going in, and coming from the SPDIF output back into your digital audio interface, you won't get any latency coming back in. So it's a more seamless and transparent methodology of using external rack effects. So let's look at how we set this up. Here we have one of Niva the Soul Diva songs called Come On and Dance With Me. You can check the song out on her CD on Amazon or Walmart. So we have here, we have her vocal tracks over here, and we have on the end of the mixing board here, you notice we don't have a master fader because I'm not mixing, doing a bounce to disc mix down. I'm mixing to an external device. But anyway, we have the an aux setup here at the end of the mixing board, and the thing you'll notice that on the aux, if you go up here to where we have the inserts, we don't have any effects. We don't have anything in the inserts. Why is that? Because we are going to use this aux with an external device. The device that I'm using is the TC Electronic M2000. The TC M2000 is like a B-level multi-effects unit. It's a very good unit, has a lot of good reverbs and things, and it has SPDIF in and SPDIF out, as well as AES EBU in and AES EBU out. So it has different formats of digital I/O, which is good. That's what we want. So if we go back over here to, let's say, her ad-lib vocal, what I call ad-libs, her secondary vocals, we see that the ad-libs are going on a send to channels. Okay, they're going on a send to channels 7 and 8. Okay, going on a send to channel 7 and 8. Then that 7 and 8 comes down to here to the aux. The input to the aux is coming in on 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is the SPDIF in and the SPDIF out. So it's going out of the SPDIF here on the send. That's the send is going out, and the return, which is the input, the SPDIF input, the return is coming back on 7 and 8, which is the SPDIF. Then the channel that all of I have set for all of the effects to go out is on 3 and 4, but we don't need to worry about that. In other words, if I had a master fader, my master fader will be on 3 and 4 to be able to control all of these as far as volume is concerned. But we're not concerned with that because we're not doing a We're not doing a bounce to disc where we're going to need the master fader. So let's take a look at the M2000, and you'll see that I have the M2000 set up with an effect that will be affecting the voices that are sent to it. So, and I can't show you these things because the back of these things, how they're set up with the I/O, because I can't get down there and behind the rack and do all kind of stuff. There's 1,000 wires back there. I can't go back there and mess with that. But just take my word for it that the input to the M2000 is going from the SPDIF input, and the output is being used in the SPDIF output. If you do buy a rack mounted effects unit, you'll have to learn how to do the routing. So for example, the M2000 allows you to do routing in serial, in parallel, in stereo, or mono. It has all these routing variations that you can do that will affect the sound of your effect. How you set up that routing as far as serial or parallel or dual mono, they all have an effect on your effects, but that's another story. Right now we just want to see how to set up the I/O for the voices and the effects. So you can't hear it because I don't hooked up so that you can hear it, but you can see the aux is moving. This signal that's coming in, this is from the M2000. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let me run it back some more. So that's a different way of setting up effects using your external effects via digital, not via analog, but via digital. Just make sure that you have the external effects clocked to the clock of the digital audio workstation. Don't have the external effects as the master, have the digital audio workstation as the master. And if your external effects allows you to put in the beats per minute, you can do that as well. You can read up on your manual as far as how to get the beats per minute set on your delays and things like that on your external effects. I also have the Lexicon MPX. And as I said, and I will reiterate this, if you want to make a record that the consumer is going to be interested in, effects is where it's at. Not compressors, not limiters. You're spending thousands of dollars for compressors and limiters and things like that, and equalizers. This has nothing to do with making a hit record. This is all engineering, technology nonsense. As far as hit records are concerned, are they important? Yes, they are. But what sells a record, what sells a song, what makes the consumer want to put down money to purchase the song or add it to their collection is your effects. That's what's going to do it. So effects is very important, and we need to start paying more attention to how we use our effects. Whether you're doing rap music, country music, R&B, rock, or whatever, you have to get the use of your effects has to become a primary concern. This is Brother Jonathan, and thank you very much for stopping by. Like I said, YouTube has killed my channel for whatever reason. I don't know why, but if you could do a like, if you can put a like on the video, I would appreciate it. And if you need any assistance with your musical productions, please do not hesitate to book a session on our website, newblackmusic.net. Thank you very much. God bless.